National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan announced that the United States will take definitive steps to remove long-standing regulatory hurdles impeding civil nuclear cooperation between leading Indian nuclear entities and U.S. companies, reflecting on the historic India-U.S. civil nuclear agreement signed nearly 2 decades ago by then-President George W. Bush and former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Sullivan emphasized the Biden administration's commitment to advancing this partnership. The move aims to unlock the full potential of collaboration in the civil nuclear energy sector, marking a significant milestone in India-U.S. strategic ties.
Although former President Bush and former Prime Minister Singh laid out a vision of civil nuclear cooperation nearly 20 years ago, we have yet to fully realize it. The Biden administration has determined that it is past time to take the next major step in cementing this partnership. The United States is now finalizing the necessary steps to remove long-standing regulations that have prevented civil nuclear cooperation between India's leading nuclear entities and U.S. companies. This will be an opportunity to turn the page on some of the frictions of the past and create opportunities for entities that have been on restricted lists in the United States to come off those lists and enter into deep collaboration with the United States, with our private sector, with our scientists and technologists to move civil nuclear cooperation forward. Over the years, I've noticed that people have referred to the United States and India as natural partners. It's a phrase they use, natural partners. And in many ways, that's true. Our democracies are linked, our companies are linked, our universities are linked. As you heard from Director Banerjee about the synergies between U.S. researchers and researchers right here at IIT Delhi. And more than anything else, our people are linked. But the U.S.-India partnership that we've built together is not one that just naturally sprang into existence. All of our linkages may have been necessary, but at the same time, they were insufficient to generate the outcomes that we've seen. The partnership we have built is one of intention, of choice, one of determination, of leadership, and frankly, one of perseverance and grit. Look at the U.S.-India Civil Nuclear Agreement concluded by President George W. Bush and Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, or India's designation as a major defense partner of the United States in 2016. Or President Biden and Prime Minister Modi's decision to manufacture advanced jet engine technology and explore space together. None of these were natural occurrences. Step by step, we've worked to build trust, to build habits of cooperation, to move our partnership past what Prime Minister Modi has called our hesitations of history. Which brings me to another historic step in the journey. Although former President Bush and former Prime Minister Singh laid out a vision of civil nuclear cooperation nearly 20 years ago, we have yet to fully realize it. But as we work to build clean energy technologies, to enable growth in artificial intelligence, and to help U.S. and Indian energy companies unlock their innovation potential, the Biden administration has determined that it is past time to take the next major step in cementing this partnership. So today I can announce that the United States is now finalizing the necessary steps to remove long-standing regulations that have prevented civil nuclear cooperation between India's leading nuclear entities and U.S. companies. The formal paperwork will be done soon, but this will be an opportunity to turn the page on some of the frictions of the past and create opportunities for entities that have been on restricted lists in the United States to come off those lists and enter into deep collaboration with the United States, with our private sector, with our scientists and technologists to move civil nuclear cooperation forward together. This is a statement of confidence in the progress we've made and the progress we will continue to make as strategic partners and as countries who share a commitment to peaceful nuclear cooperation. It's also the result of India's open and transparent engagement with our administration over the course of 4 years, which has enabled us to open this new chapter together. Of course, none of the work we've done together over any of these years has been easy. We've had to navigate our fair share of turbulence, legacy relationships, tensions over trade, as well as over human rights and the rule of law at home and abroad. But we've navigated these issues together with our eye on the long game, and our ability to do so reflects the deep and enduring resilience between the U.S. and India, across generations, across administrations, and yes, across the aisle. This leads to my parting thought. Where do we go from here? I'm deeply proud of the work the U.S. and India have done together under ISET to shape the technologies of the future. I'm deeply proud of the fact that I believe we are passing the baton on to the next administration in 2 weeks' time in an even stronger position than what we inherited 4 years ago. But there is still so much to be done. It's not going to be enough for the U.S. and India to simply collaborate in building the critical technologies of the future. We also are going to have to work together to shape the diffusion, protection, and the rules that govern those technologies. We've already begun this work in domains like space, where India's decision to join the Artemis Accords is allowing us to establish a common set of principles around civilian space exploration. We're going to need to do the same thing in other spheres as well, such as the employment of artificial intelligence and advanced biotechnologies, both of which are going to have enormous consequences on every facet of life. And as we see more and more new technologies diverted to unfriendly actors, the U.S. and India are going to have to ensure that valuable dual-use technologies don't fall into the wrong hands. That means aligning our export control systems, looking at trade measures to protect our industrial strategies from overcapacity, better securing our supply chains, and reviewing outbound and inbound investment in sensitive sectors. As we take those steps, we need to expand the work we're doing to leverage American and Indian innovation to help the world, especially emerging economies, enable equitable growth across the globe. And finally, our partnership can be most effectively sustained and can actually only reach its full potential if we live up together to the values that lie at the core of our democracies. Respect for the rule of law that creates the conditions for dynamic growth, respect for pluralism and tolerance that powers innovation, and the protection of basic freedoms that unleash the human spirit. I say this as someone who fully believes that the United States can realize those aspirations, that these are the basic truths about how our democracies will grow and flourish.